Good morning to India, good afternoon to Singapore, and greetings to the rest of the world joining us today. I'm Chuan Wee Meng, CEO of Singapore International Mediation Centre, your host today. Warm welcome to ISMS 2021, the inaugural India-Singapore Mediation Summit, making mediation mainstream, reflections from India and Singapore. We are very encouraged by a registration of almost 3,000 participants. I believe many others will be viewing and sharing this in the days to come. Thank you to each one of you for joining us on a Saturday, and special thanks to all our distinguished speakers and guests for gracing this summit. We are also grateful for the strong support from both the Indian and Singapore Supreme Courts, the Ministries of Law, Niti Aayog, and our event partners, without which this summit would not be possible. Thank you. In today's event, we will see unprecedented participation from the highest level of both countries to discuss an increasingly important mechanism to resolve disputes of our time, mediation. We are confident that today's conversations and strong friendships will lead the path to propel mediation further in the near future for both India and Singapore. I'd like to call upon our strategic partners and Mr. Mehernosh Shapoorjee, co-founder and director, Mediation Mantras, to deliver the closing remarks. Mehernosh, please.
Thank you, Wee Meng. Good afternoon and namaste, everybody. I'd like to begin by thanking everybody who has spoken today. The Honourable Chief Justice of India, Justice Ramana, the Honourable Chief Justice of Singapore, Justice Sundaresh Menon, our special guests, Mr. Edwin Tong, SC, Mr. Amitabh Kant, our panelists, Justice Sikri, Mr. Sriram Panchu, Ms. Mayuri Khatu, Ms. Lai Win, and George Lim, and Gregory Vijendran. Thank you for all the wisdom that you shared with us today and the generosity with which you shared anecdotes and ideas. Having heard all that we have said today, I ask myself a very simple question. What did the Singapore-India Mediation Summit teach me today? What is the value of this new information that I received? And what are my key takeaways for today? It will come as a surprise to most of you that I am not a lawyer turned mediator. I'm actually a corporate executive turned mediator. Having spent 30 years in the corporate world, working with multinational firms and dealing with large multi-stakeholder projects, I look at things and I absorb information through a business and socio-economic lens, and which is what I was doing today. As a person dealing with business disputes every day, I ask myself, how is mediation different from other forms of ADR? What's in it for me? And what do I need to do next? The answer to the first question, how is mediation different, has been detailed throughout the morning today. Mediation is perhaps the most empowering form of dispute resolution available to us. Mediations are facilitated by skilled mediators, but the mediated solutions are curated by parties themselves. So the solutions are more sustainable. What's in it for you? Well, the availability of mediation is a key element in the ease of doing business. As the Chief Justices, both of them in the morning said, conflicts and disputes are unavoidable. So the question isn't, how do you avoid conflicts? The question is, how do you manage them? Litigation puts you through a lot of financial and emotional stress before it can give you relief. Mediation is more immediate and less painful. There is no third-party judgment, and there are no losers in a mediation. In a good mediation, business interests are preserved, brand reputations are protected, and business relationships are strengthened. That brings me to the last question. What do we need to do next? Let us look at ISMS 2021 as a solid bridge between the old and the new ways of dispute resolution, and an opportunity to reach out to all of us. Let us begin a deeper more meaningful conversations on the issues at hand. Let us, as businesses, lawyers, judges, and mediators, understand how we can work together and help each other resolve disputes before they get out of hand. Consider, as Mr. Panchu said, pre-litigation mediation as your first port of call. We can connect you to an increasing number of professional, private, trained mediators that understand the complex issues and the stakes involved in commercial disputes. Depending on what your conflict is, there will be more than one good mediator who can mediate solutions for you. There are organizations like Samadhan and Madhyam in Delhi, AMP in Mumbai, CAMP in Bangalore, FCDR in Chennai, IIAM in Kochi, and the list goes on. There are organizations providing mediation services all over the country. Then there are some great mediators that transcend location and category, like Mr. Sriram Panchu, Mr. Amarjit Singh Chandyok, Ms. Laila Olapalli, Ms. Sheila Balsari, Mr. Sudhanshu Batra, Ms. Sadhna Ramachandran, Mr. JP Singh, Mr. AJ Jawad, Mr. JLN Murthy, Ms. Uma Ramanathan, Ms. Tanu Chandra, Ms. Chitra Narayanan, George Marlopalat, Mr. Prathmesh Popat. These are just people I have met in the last couple of years and had deep engagements with. And there are so many more great mediators in this country today. And SIMC, led by George Lim and Wee Meng, can connect you to some of the best mediators from around the world. But not everybody is a George Lim or a Sriram Panchu. So we recognize that we have to build professional capacity to scale with rigorous training programs and refresher programs and setting the quality standards and checks for mediators and mediations in India. So when you place your trust in a mediation, your trust is not misplaced. So what does the future of mediation look like? We have more than 40,000 mediation, court annex mediation centers in India today, and about 150,000 trained certified mediators across the country. And they are all nurtured by the judiciary as led by our Supreme Court Chief Justice. You will also be happy to know that large corporate law firms are investing time and money today to understand how they can use mediation to best serve business interests. Mediation Mantras is also working with one of the largest law firms to develop a deep understanding of mediation and how it can help their clients resolve disputes constructively. This mediation advocacy program is being developed with SIMC, and we'll be making an announcement about it very soon. What we need is to engage one another deeply and start building circles of trust, a robust ecosystem of alternate dispute resolution mechanisms that work together for the benefit of all. I hope this ISMS 2021, with this enthusiastic participation from all the stakeholders in dispute resolution, will instill confidence in the judiciary, in the legal community, the business community, and among existing and potential litigants, that mediation is a great option. It can be start of the mission mode for a lot of us. It is the common ground that will enhance the ease of doing business. And as the Honourable Chief Justice NV Ramana said in the morning, mediation, if done well, can truly help facilitate the access to justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehernosh, our partners in India and our friends. I'd like to thank all of our distinguished speakers and panelists for joining us in the inaugural India-Singapore Mediation Summit. Again, I'd like to thank Niti Aayog for coming on board as our partner, and to all our event partners in India, in Singapore, who extended their generous support to make this summit a reality. A big thank you to all of our participants for expressing your great enthusiasm and for joining us today. Till we meet again, take care and stay tuned for more updates on mediation. Thank you.